All right. Welcome to Star Wars CCG players. Uh, Today it's going to be me, Jeremy DePaulo, along with Eric Hunter.
Good morning.
And we're going to be covering the top 8 of the Indianapolis Eclipse event. So let's take a quick gander at the top 8 here.
Do we know who we're going to be getting or who's been paired up yet?
I don't think pairings have happened yet. We're still waiting on that. So our top 8 here is going to be Chris Kelly coming in at the number 1 seed. He played Hitko and Court yesterday. And then number 2 is Steven Salucci, a name we haven't heard in a while, but glad to see he's back playing. He played QMC and Thrawn yesterday. And then my teammate and good friend, Mike Kessling, coming in at number 3. He played WAP in Shadow Collective. That's interesting. Mike not known for playing WAP. And then you have number 4, you have Casey, who played Hitko and Huntdown. And
Casey
then,
is known for playing Hunt Down.
yes, very known for playing Huntdown. And then number 5, you got Sam Tashima, QMC, and Shadow Collective yesterday. Both those guys, Casey and Sam, they've been super hot recently, playing really well. And
Yeah,
then number
I wonder what
6,
percentage of I feel like they keep on just making top eights.
oh yeah, definitely. Sam's a grinder. He's been grinding like crazy, so he's just getting exponentially better, I feel like.
Yeah, I remember the very first event that I played when I came back was like an MPC, and I think my very first I can't remember if it was like the first game or like the first game of the consolation event. I played against Sam, and uh it the game was a little bit one-sided, and I haven't been playing as much, but now I just see him top eighting every event, and I see him up on stream, and he's just like a much better player.
Oh yeah. And then at number 6, we have Justin Caruli. Haven't heard that name in a while either, so glad to see he's doing well. He played 0 Hour and My Kind of Scum. I'm
Yeah.
assuming the My Kind of Scum deck was basically an iteration of the Tom deck.
I don't know. I think I was told that it was a scum deck,
Wow,
so
really?
I'm really
Okay.
curious to see that list when it becomes available. I was not expecting a court and a my kind of scum in this top eight.
All right, then number 7, a guy you know very well, Hayes Hunter. He played QMC and Rots Vader.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm surprised he made this top eight with that dark deck.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a Hayes deck to me. I was surprised to see him playing that.
He was working on it beforehand, and I was like, I'm not sure you really want to play that, but
And then rounding out the top 8, another guy who's super hot right now, Jeff Levine, playing QMC and Thrawn yesterday. So it looks like we do have our matchup set up, and it's going to be Mike Kessling versus Hayes Hunter.
oh, that's exciting. This is a
So,
great match.
oh yeah, battle of two titans here, two good friends. Should be an interesting one.
Do you have inside knowledge as to whether they Mike switched up his decks?
I have not been paying attention to our team Slack channels, so I do not know.
All right, I'm pretty sure Hayes did switch up at least his dark side deck.
Okay, so looks like, is this Hayes on QMC or?
Yeah,
Okay, interesting. Another deck I haven't seen Hayes play very often. And it looks like this is ISB from Mike, which makes sense. This is the Executor start version.
yeah. I saw Charlie play one in the Gem PC recently that I was pretty excited about because he did a activation platform similar to something that I've been doing for a bit.
Yeah,
Um,
we saw him on stream yesterday, and he was playing the Vonne Booster Park Castle, putting him off at the square. He did play that yesterday.
Yeah. Um, and then, but I know that I feel like when I've seen people play ISB, it's usually been this mob points executor version.
Yeah, when we saw Charlie play that version on stream yesterday, he played against QMC,
Mhm.
and it seemed like he was very disadvantaged. Uh,
Interesting.
but with the Executor, I feel like this is actually a really good matchup for ISB.
The executor version is good against QMC, you're saying?
It, yes, yeah, because that's a really good way to attack QMC is to kind of just try to take control of the system and make
Yep,
them commit resources to the system.
for sure. I think one of the the QMC that I've been playing, um, I actually there's that new character, the Num, or is it Yenum,
Yeah, yeah,
who would limit the attrition, immunity to attrition of the opposing starships.
yeah, yeah. That'll
Um,
be a good card here.
yeah, I'm not. I mean, there's enough aliens now that it's kind of hard to include everyone that has utility. So I'm we'll see if Hayes is playing him, but that would be a good counter card that could maybe even that fight.
Yeah, especially if you can get Lando with the end. That'd be really good.
It'll be exciting to see the game text on the Belden's Eye actually come into play here.
Yeah,
Um,
the have to use force or whatever to.
yeah, 15 force.
Yeah,
Or maybe Mike will play around that and activate a lot. This is the first game today.
this is game one. Yes,
Um, we don't happen to know who the other top eight matches are.
I could check. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard for ISB. Um, the drain minus won't be coming into play if QMC is flipped because I don't believe their drains can be modified
That is correct, but
where they have an alien.
what you'll see from Mike probably is he's probably not going to rely on that, and he's just going to swarm Cloud City sites.
Right.
I imagine Mike won't even deploy any of his own battlegrounds.
Yeah, that he could do that. I mean, the risk there is that you're then um keeping zeros in your deck.
That's true. We might see him play like one docking bay just to have guys at to drain for two at, because he plays spaceport docking bay and he plays indoor docking bay,
Mhm.
and those are his only two battlegrounds besides Bestman. Okay, so the other matchups we have are Casey versus Justin Curley, Salucci versus Sam, and Chris Kelly versus Jeff Levine.
All very interesting matchups. I think the Sam Stevens issue also would be very interesting to watch as well.
There is a second stream. Um, I don't know which one is being streamed on the second stream, but Justin Miyashiro and I believe it's who else is streaming? Logan. I think Logan and Justin Miyashiro are streaming the other match. Yeah, thanks, Jared. Go to that link, you can watch the other game. Let me
Yeah,
just pull it up just so I can have it on the side.
and I would also the other match I think would be really interesting to watch would be Casey. I mean, they're all great, but Casey and Karuli, that
Oh
Karuli
wow.
we haven't seen in a long time.
So I just took a peek at the other matchup, and it's Sam on hidden base versus Lucci on Thrawn. Okay.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, back to this match. So we see the typical start from ISP. He pulled the Executor, Piet, and Ozzel. Okay, his turn one Executor docking bay. It's always good. So now he's looking for. So the good thing about this matchup is you don't even have to buy investment. Usually you have to pull Bergeric to get investment out, but you don't have to waste time doing that. So now all he needs is the effect.
Yeah, I didn't see if he had one in his opening hand. But we'll know soon enough, right?
Yeah, and there's a million ways to get it. Between, I think he plays double force push, Tarkin's orders, he plays accelerates. Oh, gets the bridge too. That's pretty good.
A lot of whiteboarded from Mike.
Yes, he's a huge fan of these white border cards.
Not even deploying Piet. Um, that to me is a strong sign that he saw that he had one in his force pile. And that he didn't even want to spend the force, and he just wanted to just draw up until he found the um
Yep.
they must never again leave this city.
Putting Oslo out there to keep Hayes honest.
Well,
Make
yeah,
make him play the shield.
right, that's a good point.
Yeah, because Hayes is gonna have to pull the shield here unless he wants to give like 2 extra activation from mob points.
To be fair,
But I don't know.
after,
Hayes might not even do that. He might value that shield pull.
other than like aim high, um and I guess maybe goldenrod, like aim high and grabber, I feel like are the main shields I'd want against ISB. I'm trying to think through if there's any other shields that would be value.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. It's probably the grabber, secret plans, or aim high, goldenrod, and don't do that again. Can't imagine anything else. Maybe thrown back, but ISB usually they can really manipulate their hand size with things like Deidre and all the other ISB agents.
Yeah, and I don't, maybe Yavin Force entry, but I wouldn't expect that to be that relevant from the executor version.
Yeah, this doesn't play any troopers besides the named ones like Tarl. Probably a garrison. Oh, it's like Hayes has a mismatched shield there. Or sleeve, I mean. Yep, so there's Harksef, the Overseer.
Who's activates 3 force for Hayes currently, which is very strong.
Yes. And there's Yaxkit, so it looks like Hayes getting the quick flip. Okay, so just don't do that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it looks like Hayes is going to draw step. That's interesting.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. I think Mike drew. It wasn't clear how many of cards he drew. It was maybe like 3 or 4. So I think he only has like 1 or 2 force left. Then he's activating, I think 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 force. Um, as a QMC player, it's tempting to flip turn 1, but it's actually very nice to pull a site on the next turn because you can't pull sites on the 7 side other than the docking bay.
It's interesting though they left Yoxkit at the battleground site instead of moving him over.
Yeah, I mean it's probably just going to be a free drain. There's the Endor docking bay.
Okay, there's the pre-executor effect. Yeah, so I guess Hayes' thought process here is Mike is committed to playing executor this turn,
Mhm.
so Yoxkit is more than likely safe. And I mean, I'm sure he's got path or dodge or something. So if Mike wants to commit resources to the ground, Hayes is probably good with that. It's the
Mhm.
cost of a billion because of Bespin.
Well, if he deploys the executor first, right, I mean all he needs to do is move Ozzel up. So he could, if he wanted to, deploy a couple.
Play executor and then deploy some guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and then move Ozzel up.
Do you feel safe with just Ozzel on the executor?
Um, maybe not. I'd probably want to do Piet, which is, another 2 force.
Okay, so here's a barrier. Interesting. That gets grabbed. How do you feel
Yeah,
about
that
that
makes sense
barrier
to me.
there? It's
Um,
pretty
because
safe from
he can
Belden's
use the
side, right?
15. He can use that 15 force text whenever he wants.
Okay, so yeah, there's Pia aboard the executor. Not sure I love the grab of barrier here from Mike. Depends on if he's playing
Which
tentacle.
location did he just play?
That looks like another docking bay, Hoth docking bay.
It does look like the Hoth docking bay, which is oh, he may be doing the Blizzard 2 play, right? Where you with the I'm sorry, Blizzard 1 play, where you use the ISB agent Veers,
Okay.
who you can then flash to deploy Blizzard 1 to a Hoth location.
If that's the case, then this is a version of ISB I'm not familiar with. Because usually you just play the indoor docking bay for the Hitco matchup. Okay, so Mike is leaving Oslo at the executor docking bay.
Yeah, he wants that 2 extra force,
Yep.
which I think makes sense. If Hayes barrier there, I think it kind of suggests to me that he's not going to be going to space heavy this turn, and he's going to be relying on the 15 force. But maybe not on the Belden's eye to cancel the battle.
So I think
Um,
Mike has 2 saved. Maybe if he has 3 saved, then he can actually go for the pay 15 if he wants to.
he also may be playing the so I can't shake him,
Yep. Yep. So Yoxkit getting this cheeky drain of 1 in.
which I believe if you have a character, if you have the matching starship, I believe Mike has the ability to play I can't shake him and deploy either to Bespin or to the executor ship or to the docking bay with it.
Oh, really? You can go to the docking bay with it?
Yeah, I think it's a unique quirk if you have a ship and then the matching site out. I vaguely recall hearing about this like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it just says aboard your starship. So yeah, I guess that does work. Because that would be considered a board, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew that. You taught me something today, Eric.
Yeah, so I mean Hayes is just gonna go for the flip. And if I'm him, um I'm going to try to get out Ancient Watering Hole and just start doing as much damage as I can.
Yeah. Right, so there's Catwall. Incinerator is interesting. Everybody seems to be playing the Incinerator for their 6th Cloud City site.
Yeah, that was something that I think Joe Olson came up with. Um there's been I think Team 5 has been playing QMC for the past, I don't know, 2 years or so. And that was something that he started doing. I wasn't because I feel like most players would just use docking bay, the 2-2-1s, the docking bay, and the 1-0.
Yeah. They're playing the Docking Bay too, right?
I'm sorry, the 2-2-1s that are currently out, and then the North Corridor that cancels drains. Yeah, I believe they are playing the docking bay.
So they have the full 6 sites. Which against Thrawn, I think it makes sense, right? Because you can just play a guy to each site and feel pretty safe. Just stack just pile on the damage.
Yeah, it lets you go a little bit wider, and with path and your 1-0, um, it can really help. So looked like Hayes played to Alien to flip, and then he played the sand effect. And Mike is playing I Can't Shake Him, gets Lieutenant Pole treat him. And I believe the interaction here is that he deploys the character, uses the force, I Can't Shake Him goes on top, and then he can take that card back into hand with Pole.
Yeah. Poltredium is an awesome card.
But he looks like he's not doing that, which is a little surprising. I mean, maybe he just really wants something different here, but the ability to pull any character from your deck on the next turn also seems very spicy. Let's see. 1, 2. We have Overseer. 1, 2.
So there's the wild card.
Sorry, that's right. I think Mike's only activating 14 force next turn. 1, 2.
Yeah, looks like it. So Hayes did not play the docking bay, which seems intentional.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was in his force pile that turn and the 5 force that he used.
Do you play the docking bay here though, or do you think it's a liability?
Um, I wouldn't mind slow rolling it. I mean, one of the things that you have to assess your ability to withstand in space. Um, and it does represent a safety valve for you that if if things go wrong, then you can just shuttle everything down. Um, that's somewhat of a losing position. The advantage though is that it's one of the given that you see the Hoth location out, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that Mike is playing Blizzard 1. And if Mike's gonna get a toehold on any Cloud City site, like Blizzard 1 to the docking bay, like play Blizzard 1 to Hoth and then move it over the docking bay.
Yeah. Should have been 14, but I wasn't
I think it's
counting.
third. I thought it was 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
It's
14.
14, yeah. But I wasn't counting. I'm activating. But yeah, it should be 14.
And
Yeah,
he
there's
didn't have
Blizzard
any,
1, so you're right about that. I see that in his deck.
he didn't have any saved. So he shouldn't be able to battle around the effects.
I mean, he probably activated 3, used Accelerate, and then activated 11 after that. Yeah, there's the Tarkin's Bounty that he accelerated for.
I wonder what he's looking for in particular.
It's a good question. Probably like Wolf Ulard or somebody to get the ball rolling. Tarkin, maybe. Okay, so there's Isard. And then there's Wolf Ularian. So it lets him activate 4 Force. So that is one thing that could have happened. Mike could have just grabbed Wolf Ularian and had enough force to battle at Bestman.
Well, you can still battle at Bespin. He is um
Well, if he wanted to full commit to paying 15, like Wolf Ularian would have allowed him to do that. I'm not
he,
saying that's a good play. I'm just saying it was possible.
he does have 16 power at Bespin to Hayes's 7 plus a battle Destiny to power.
Okay, so there's Deidre. Deidre, just an awesome addition for ISP. She's just an awesome card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, there's the battle at Bestman. So he pops Belden's Eye. And now
If
here's the
I'm
battle at
Hayes,
the Incinerator.
I think he might path into the battle with Ketwall.
I think the battle is against Catwall. I mean, Hayes clearly has something here. He's been representing this for a minute. Is that a rescue? I think that's a rescue.
Well, he's playing it as a lost interrupt and rescues.
That's pretty brutal there for Mike. Drew a 0. Yeah, so he played rescue to draw if it was otherwise with the Oxgate. But that is used, right? That
The
part's
rescue
used.
is the use. I don't. Did he? I'm not sure why there's a card in Hayes' lost pile right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Do we have that enhance function where we just say enhance and we can see?
Man, what a disaster for Mike there, drawing that 0.
You got to get your zeros out. But yeah, that is unfortunate.
Might be the only zero left in his deck. Yeah, we're wondering why he put it in his lost file though, because that part is definitely a used function.
Now he's playing Path.
Yep, pathing away from this battle.
What was he outpowered somehow? I wouldn't think so, right?
What do you mean?
Like, did Hayes like Isard was only powered 2.
Yeah, Mike drew a zero. I think he just played Lost or Rescue in the Clouds. I think he just made a mistake. Just played thought that portion was the lost portion.
There's no active judging, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, 2. He's playing 2 of that guy. I forget the character's name.
Which one? Deidre?
Idra. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She just lets you do a lot of silly things like put back your fives that you don't need anymore. Get your
Yep.
hand size down for Tarkin. Did did you catch? Did Mike retrieve?
Yeah, he retrieved Isard.
Okay, good.
So Hayes drained for a 1/1. Even though the drain would be -1 due to the ISB game text, it is
Protected by the flip side of the objective.
yeah, where drains cannot be modified or reduced, I believe, or just modified. Where you have an alien.
Looks like that's Solo, and I couldn't tell who that first guy was. Going to the wild card.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at Gump just to double check the game text.
Then there's Leia's resistance transport. It's a pretty sizable space lead here for Hayes.
I thought it may have been Dash.
I think it's a smuggler. Maybe Rio Durant.
Rio Durant's very good.
Oh, Den. Ooh, that's pretty good. Because now
Yeah,
Hayes is representing 3 Battle Destiny here. Between Solo, Den, and then a Destiny to Power. Wow, this is Mike's
I
in
mean,
trouble here.
we'll see if Mike has the Imperial command. We did see him lose 1 to a force drain.
Yeah, he's probably regretting that right now.
I think that was just off the top, but ISB is generally, I think, running 4 commands.
I think this list only plays 2. But
But yeah, I mean, even without it, if it's +3 to total battle destiny, Hayes is, I think, Slay's will transport 3 power or 2 power. I think it's 3, right?
I think it is 3, yeah.
So it's like 6. Let's say it's
It's 3, yeah.
3, 6, 15, 19. So Hayes is 19 power plus 3 more
And a Destiny to Power.
From the wild cards game text and Ray's game text and then Destiny power. So he is overpowering Mike by quite a bit. And if Mike does not have a command, he may lose the executor here.
Yeah. Mike's a lot of trouble here because he has nowhere to run either. He's gonna have to commit to fighting here in space.
Yeah, and so Hayes just completed a Ray, use pile pull. I think the two cards I'd be looking for is Ancient Watering Hole, Fujix, and like or like Path.
Celebration.
Um, well, no, I think you need to be concerned about protecting the two characters you have on the ground. Um, we have
I think that's
Ayla,
Ayla, yeah.
yeah, which I guess is going for Destiny number 4. And here comes the docking bay.
Have good that 0 out. So yeah, I think if Mike doesn't have a command here, I think it's game over.
QMC can still draw pretty badly, but if he's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 battle destiny, and I think it's plus 1, 2, 3, and so with those 4 destinies, he needs to draw at least, and let's see. Well, he's attrition minus 2, right? He's of pull, and he has 13 forfeit.
Yeah. Well, wild card only adds if it's a smuggler. So currently it's only +1.
No, it's only +1.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Okay, so Jared is saying that Mike does have a command in hand. That's good. Yeah. So we'll see if Hayes can outpower him here. No, I don't think he runs the sand card.
I think so. He draws 2 for Destiny to power. He's going to choose to redraw it with Yakshit.
Yep.
Draws a 4. And then a 3.
Okay, so not too bad. But that's a 5. That's 3. And Mike draws a 2.
So I think Hayes is 27 total power to Mike's 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. And he just drew a 2, 18.
Yeah. Oh, but Poltredium
He reduced his
subtracts
position for each
just
eye.
attrition. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's down by a lot of power, so he's gonna have to lose something. But it might be just Poltredium. I don't know. He might be enough to cover it.
What did I just say Hayes was? It was 28
20,
or 27.
27.
Um,
All right, so Hayes loses Ayla.
yeah, so it's 27 to 17. So he's down. It'd be pull and then 3 more. Or he could lose Piet.
So there's 1. Sure, no, that makes sense. Won't need him. Yeah, I think you were right on the nose there. 3 overflow. Pull
Yeah,
plus
so
3 overflow.
it's what's interesting here. So Mike will be able to drain for 2 or for 1 -1 because of the dark side text of the incinerator, +1 because ISB. So he'll be able to drain for 1. Hayes has 2 characters that are alone. He already played 1 path. You'd be tempted to maybe try to battle into them, but unless Mike has another Imperial command, he needs to get guys onto the executor
Yeah, we already know that
and draw.
there are 2 commands that are gone, right? The one that he lost and then the one that's stacked.
Yeah. So there would be, again, I would assume he's playing 4. I haven't looked at a recent ISB list like from someone from Mike or Charlie or someone else on old or on New Allies. Oh, he has the force push.
So this might be getting another
There's a
command. There's a
command.
command. Yeah.
That's just a snap command, right?
Yeah. Nothing else makes sense here. Kyrkanos is tempting, but I think you just have to take command. Kyrkanos might allow him to get a beat down on one of these guys. Looks like he has Tarkin. Looks like that card he put away is put it to the side as Tarkin. Interesting. Wonder why he didn't want command there. Maybe he has one in hand, but still, you'd probably want another one.
I don't know. Maybe he's going to deploy to the sites. And go for a beatdown.
You just give up space.
Well, no, he can move Oswald up, and again, he has 12 forfeit. I think you would just need one extra guy in space to kind of preserve executor.
A lot of good destinies in Mike's deck.
It's always a good feeling,
Yeah.
you know. So like I'm going to battle this turn. Let's see what's in reserve. Oh,
Oh,
there's nothing
look.
in these 5s.
Yeah, look at all these 5s.
Conversely, one of the worst feelings is like I'm going to go battle this turn. You think about what your play is, and then you decide on battling, and you're like, but let me check my destiny before I do this. And then it's just
Yeah.
1s and 2s, and you're like, all right, new game plan.
So we'll see what Mike decides here. I think he might be right. I think he might just be going to the ground. Yep,
Yeah,
there's
I think you can pass
Gideon.
before battle. The tricky part there is that you need to time the path correctly. I mean, if he just follows up with Kyrkanos, for example,
Yeah, he just goes straight to his battle phase. Then you can't bath, right?
right? Yeah, so
But
it's
I don't think he took Kyrkanos, though. I think he took Tarkin.
Kyr was in it. Right, okay.
Yeah. Okay, there's Vandalay. That's pretty good. Gets to replay Wolf Yularen over there, activate 4.
That's just that's even, right? Spend 2 force, pay 2 force, activate 4 force. So it just makes Vandalay a free play.
Yeah. You also get Wolf Yularen at the other site.
Yeah, you want him in the action so you can lose him and retrieve him.
Yeah. There's Callus. So yeah, I think he'll be able to see now drawing with Callus. Just forget about that.
You may only have one or two cards left in reserve, and depending on how many battles he hopes to initiate.
Okay. And Evac's going up to space. So he can
Another 7 forfeit.
de-draw a card to his use pile, play Tarkin, and think draw some cards, but maybe you're right, maybe he only has a few cards in his reserve deck that he doesn't care about drawing. Question is, where do you put Tarkin? Do you want him on the ground or do you want him in space?
I think you'd want him in space.
Yeah, because like you said, QMC not known for their high destiny, so getting Tarkin out there to snipe a 5 or whatever seems correct.
So Marajek also gets added. I imagine Hayes has a Hujix or a Path here.
Yep, there's
Small
a
hand.
Hujix and a Path, yep. Man,
I'm not sure how much force he has saved. If he's, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. He might go to the incinerator. Interesting.
okay, so he just goes to the 1-0. Okay. Man, just thinking back to that term, Mike drew a 0 against Yoxkit. It's just huge.
Well, he was flipped, so if he had drawn the 3 or less, he would have stayed. Ancient Watering Hole is not out. I think Hayes has been using his holes for character protection and getting out all of his space. And he certainly has all of his space out. So no force saved,
Yep.
meaning he can't play command. And no Tarkin. So it's 3 destiny from Hayes.
He did get Ozzel in there though, so I think he's gonna have enough forfeit there to weather the storm. Okay, there goes Bestman. Get that out of there. Don't want to draw that again. Do you think Hayes plays something like Scanner Text to prevent the forfeit bonuses?
I I don't think he does. It's pretty, the game text regarding stopping the Jane cancel modification just doesn't come into play for QMC, and you actually really enjoy the forfeit bonus from Ancient Watering Hole.
True. Oh yeah, and it stops stuff like Ray and Wildcard, so yeah.
Oh yeah,
What's your,
I saw that on stream yesterday, where 8 scanner text stopped the Thrawn artwork
yep,
card from adding 8 to Battle Destiny,
yeah.
which
AJ realized it too late. What's your so I asked Johnny yesterday, what's your take on Asian Watering Hole? Do you think it needs to be tweaked?
um I don't know if it needs to be tweaked. I do think QMC is an extremely powerful deck.
I like the card, but I don't think it should allow you to force train plus one it not in battlegrounds. And I think you should only get the bonus where you have an alien.
Oh, I see. Maybe that'd be a little fair. I don't know if there's game text enough space on the card to do that. And I think those are kind of fringe cases the way it's being played right now.
What
Right.
if it was you have to have? What if it was like Scum, where you can't have any non-aliens on table? Would it just be too bad at that point?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty bad at that point.
You say that, but Scum is pretty good.
I would say the difference there is that there's been a lot of time for um good enough dark side aliens to be made, and there just isn't enough good light side aliens.
Well, I mean, it seems
Just
like
the-
there's a getting to be a critical mass, and it's only going to get better as they make more aliens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we see Maz and Lando with gun going up against Vandalay and Deidre.
And Lando adds a Battle Destiny on Cloud City while with an alien.
Yep, and he gets to fire his gun too, which causes forfeit 0. So this pretty good beat squad here. Maz is also a pretty
Effectively
big beater.
power 5, and if he gets Ancient Watering all out, which I still don't see in play.
Yeah,
Otherwise, just effective power 3. I'm a big fan of Lando with gun in QMC. That was a card a couple years ago. I thought QMC was starting to be a stronger deck, and that was a card that I thought should be in there over the virtual Cloud City Lando. And
yeah, especially with the EPP mall not being as popular, I think it makes sense to include Lando with gun. Plus, it gives you a lot of flexibility for clearing guys and setting up beatdowns.
yeah, between that Lando and Din, you can randomly put together a pretty good beat squad.
So this is a looks like a battle in space.
Yeah. So he drew a
Looks like some pretty good destinies.
I think it was a 4 to power, and then a 3, and then a 5, and then what was the last one, a 4 or 5?
So we'll see
All
here.
right, we're gonna see them again.
Yeah.
Very
So
helpful.
4. That's a 4, right?
Yeah, 3,
5,
5,
and then a
and
4.
4. So 16, and then he's adding from Ray and 1 guy, 18, 21, 27. So I think it's 36 power in space for Hayes. Yes, that is a Tarkin's bounty. Did Mike draw Destiny? I completely missed it.
I believe he did, but I didn't see it.
It's
Oh,
a
you did. 5.
2 force pushes.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 20, 24 power for Mike.
Probably like 2 guys, Ozil and Evax. Ooh. And he has to lose Piet. Yikes.
I gotta say, I don't think Mike has a very big hand. So getting Tarkin the previous turn is going to look very good. If he can, you know, get his hand below 6 to draw a couple extra cards. And because Mike had such good Destiny in his reserve deck at the end of the previous turn, he should have. I would imagine that means he had characters in his force pile, and so if he goes to draw it all with Tarkin, it's more
Yeah.
likely to be action than not action. Yeah, it looks
Okay,
like
so
Mike only has 4 cards in hand.
yeah, he just put a card down with D-draw, which I think was masterful move. So he's setting up that 6-5-6.
4-5 from Hayes. Another 5
Yep. So it's
becomes
just
-1 with Maz. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power for
Mike.
Mike, and that's 9 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think he just loses the no overflow.
Yep. Then Hayes loses Maz. Okay.
That's interesting. QMC does play 2 Maz, and so it makes sense
Yeah, I
to kind
think
of lose the
Lando with
character.
gun is really good against ISB, right?
That's true.
Just being able to make somebody forfeit 0.
So if you're Hayes right now, you got to feel pretty good about where you are. You're looking at it getting drained for 2. Mike only has 4 cards in hand,
Yeah, the
and
executor is stuck.
Executor unfortunately cannot land at the Cloud City docking bay as a capital starship.
Yep, can't move to Coruscant.
Hayes is saving 4 force. Um, I think that means he may have it's a trap.
Yeah, or alternatives.
I
Not
don't
that he
think he
will,
needs to.
not that he
Not
needs
that
it,
he's
but
worried about playing alternatives in space right now. Um, yeah, I mean, Mike here is going to want to just. He's lost Deidre, so he can't put an extra card down. We know he has the Tark in hand, so I think he just wants to go to Executor.
yeah.
He is fortunate that Hayes hasn't deployed an ancient watering hole. Otherwise, he'd be taking looking at a drain of 5. Ooh, a no escape there's
That's
very
pretty good,
good.
yeah. Yeah, small mercy that Hayes doesn't have celebration or water hole going.
I mean, Hayes has put together a good combination of cards in space in the ECC Lando play. Um, almost played dividends. So Deidre's going to the ground. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't love. Okay, so he's just giving up space, I guess. Okay, so there we see Tarkin draw 3 cards, 4 cards.
Yeah, it looks like a command and 2 characters.
There is a Kirkanos. That might be huge.
Well, I think he has it's a trap. I think that's the only reason you'd keep those 3 characters out like that. And it's a trap's immune to sense. So that Kirkanos can't cancel it. And if he has path, he could just play it right now.
Hayes has already played 2 paths, right?
That's right.
It, we knew he had one in hand, but we knew that one he just played, right? Looks like he drew the command from Tarkin.
Yeah.
Kind of a womp womp moment.
Very interesting that he's going after Yoxjit here and not making a play. I mean, maybe he just thinks it's kind of over for him in space.
Yeah.
At the same time, Executor's what, 15 forfeit? And Hayes had 36 power the previous turn. So he could be taking overflow.
Well, Hayes did have to lose Ray, so that's 1 less battle destiny and 1 less.
Oh, he lost Ray. So that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's 4 power effectively and a battle destiny. And I guess maybe he's just thinking if Hayes doesn't have a Hujix here, I'm in a much better position. Just taking a really calculated risk. Or
Yeah,
if he has
Mike's only taking 1 damage next turn. This board state. So maybe he's just hoping to cover up all of the Cloud City sites and
Just start
whittle them
draining.
down.
Just start draining for 2 a turn.
Yeah. Plus Mike's retrieving every turn too with ISB. Okay, so here's a battle against Yoxkit. Let's see if it's a trap. Yeah, notably Tarkin is not with 2 ISB agents. But Yoxkit isn't drawing anyways, so Hayes would need a path or something to.
Well, path wouldn't work because Kier would cancel it.
True, that's true. So it looks
Oh,
like he's playing solo. I'm assuming that was path. He's playing with solo? Or rescue, maybe rescue?
yeah, that's a little strange. If it was path, he would have done it before the battle. Oh, maybe he has Hujix. Did you say he has Hujix in hand?
He does
Or
have Vujic's hand.
because the other thing he could have done is he could have used the play path, Kier cancels it. And if it was in reserve, if Hujix in reserve, he could take escape pod off of his sand effect and then find it that way. So maybe he's wanted to use solo to burn the Kier.
Yeah,
Once
that's what I'm pretty sure that was path that Hayes played. Okay, so Hayes is taking a card off sand. Let's see what he chooses. Looks to be escape pod combo.
there's escape pod combo and alternatives to fighting.
Yeah. So it looks like he ultimately chooses not to take a card off. What is Hayes drawing there? Wait, why did Hayes draw Destiny there?
Maybe he did play rescue and it wasn't canceled.
Hmm. Interesting that Mike is not moving his characters around.
So again, if I'm Hayes, I'm really just getting Ancient Watering Hole out. What are the chances Mike plays Gick in this deck?
Probably 0. Well, he was playing Masterful Move, so maybe he does play 1.
With the docking bay out, if I'm Hayes, I'm tempted to deploy to space battle and try to get overflow. And then you can shuttle down to the docking bay and then start moving your characters around appropriately. And then the other card I'd be pretty interested in getting out is Ancient Watering Holes because this game is going to turn into a drain race very, very soon. Ooh, lay a Rebel Princess in hand. That's going to be very.
Yeah, the bounty is gone. That's brutal.
What do you think? Do you think Mike made the right decision to give up on space here?
I don't know. I don't know what choices he really had. I mean, it didn't seem like he had a lot of pilots to go up there besides Tarkin. You definitely don't want to be putting Deidre or Kirkanos up there. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not.
I don't. I think he just like went a little too aggressively on the ground. Like, is
Yeah.
Marajek at that site really needed?
Oh, there's Leia and Celebration. That's probably going to be. I don't know what you could do here as Mike. Do you just draw up if you're Mike? So to keep the diff down, because you're probably going to lose Executor here. You're certainly
Right.
not going to pay 3 to drain for 1 to get it canceled by Leia to put a card back. And then at that point, Celebration is positive, card positive. Yeah. Now there's the modal nodes with for even more retrieval.
Yeah, I imagine Hayes will end up with guys at the incinerator in the docking bay.
Yeah. I imagine there's a battle here, and then he's gonna land some guys the docking bay.
I mean, another if you couldn't draw up, you could definitely peel a lot to this battle, lose executor, and then draw up.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in a position to draw up before.
How much life force do we think Hayes has? Like 15, maybe?
So he just spent 8, 9, 4, or sorry, 7 force for what he deployed and battled. And then you drew 3 more. So that's 10. Looks like there's, I don't know. I think Hayes may have like 15 or
Yeah, like
between
high teens.
15 and 20. Yeah.
I mean, that's not an insurmountable amount. I think it's only gonna get worse for Mike if he lets this game get prolonged, right? Because you're not
I think,
doing any damage this turn, and then Hayes is gonna retrieve what 1, 2, 3, 4 force next turn.
and Mike only has 1 card in hand, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just draw up as Mike. You're certainly not paying 6 to put 2 cards back in Hayes' life force.
Actually, I think Mike has 18 cards left. That was just me counting as he was counting his life force. So I think it may be impossible for him to draw up. Yeah. So Hayes
I
is
guess
gonna retrieve
okay.
at least 3 force next turn, unless he, finds his masterful move.
Could he suicide a guy?
Oh, battle
So,
plan is not out yet.
oh, there's no battle plan. It's interesting.
Unless unless Mike pulled one, there's definitely no shield on the light side.
Yeah, Mike did not pull it because he's got grabber, fanfare, secret plans. I don't see. I don't know. Okay, did you just not drain?
Yeah, because Leia would just canceled both the drains. It would have been 2 free retrieval. Hayes plays local uprising. I mean, if I'm Hayes, I'm gonna activate. I'm gonna retrieve 3. I'm sorry. I'm gonna activate. I'm gonna use once per game pull or the keep your eyes out forever. Find ancient watering hole. Um, retrieve my 3 and just move my characters away.
Yep. Do you know what Hayes is playing for Darkside?
I don't. There was some discussion in Slack last evening. Um, it's very clear that he's not playing the same dark side deck. I don't know where he landed up. Jared, I don't think he's gonna go to Coruscant. Um, I don't think any of his ships have the hyperspeed. He would need 6 to get there.
Looks like Chris Kelly won game 1 by 15.
Which character is that?
Chewy, the blaster,
Wait.
the bowcaster. Taking a peek at the other game, looks like it's pretty close between Sam and Salucci.
Do you see what type of hidden base Sam is playing?
Yeah, he's playing a lot of Naboo defense fighters.
Classic.
Yep.
Is Hayes initiating battle here?
It looks that way, yeah. Looks like he decided to play Chewy to the docking bay instead. So he hits Wolfie Lauren.
Oh, I want. It looks like he may be using Din to
Alright,
retrieve an extra force.
so he's cycling a bunch of cards.
No, I think he used the once per game recirculate.
Yeah, well he pulled off escape pod combo, played it, and then he's cycling local defense.
Got it. Yeah, so I think he's initiating battle here because Mike could have otherwise drawn up, and battling allows him to take a card off, use escape pod, or take the card
Yep.
off of sand, play it. I imagine he targeted Wolf Yularen with Din, so he can get an extra retrieval in.
Probably just hit it used to get 2 retrieval, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had I don't think he activated enough to draw up.
That's right. Yeah, he had more life force than he could activate the previous turn.
But I think you were right, Eric. He should have just appealed to the space battle and then lost Executor and then drawn up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
looked like
there's any way he's winning this game. So
so
now
he's
he
battling
just
there as well. I guess there's no reason not to. So he drew a 6. Deidre's forfeit 5, right?
yeah.
So it's gonna clear the site. But Hayes was able to put an extra 3 cards back with the Chewy Din battle.
Yeah, this just puts more cards in Mike's last pile.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, when you're in these match play situations, every card matters. And Hayes is pretty much an expert at this. He's really just fully maximizing his differential here.
I'm really curious to what extent I feel like that the players who played in the differential era versus players who haven't, if there's a noticeable difference. I feel like it should be something that you can figure out. So that was did Hayes count as life force?
Uh,
I would assume so.
I hope so. Unless Mike just scooped the match. Hopefully that's not the case. But Mike has been known to maximize his time, so
Yeah, that was not how I was expecting the game to go. Hayes was able to get out his space, all of his space, I think, or at least just a very sizable space package out very early and put a lot of pressure on Mike. And Mike, I think, was hoping he could get by with just a couple pilots and make a serious play to Cloud City, but that
yeah,
ended up costing him the executor.
yeah. And I think honestly, drawing that 0 versus Yoxkit, just like that was it was like the first domino, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you missed that and now you're getting drained, now Yoxkit is redrawing.
Well, I think if he had drawn a 4 or higher, it would have been just cleared Yakshit. Then I think it would have been really good. Um,
Okay, so Mike did concede the match. Let me
yeah,
see if I
it
can.
looked like Hayes was winning by like almost 25 cards.
Okay. Confirming to Schoenthal that the differential was lots.
Oh, Hayes going with the Ahsoka box. I like I like that box. And his
Do you have a favorite box?
um I'm not sure. I think Boba is really sharp. BB is really sharp. The last event I played at, I used the Radis box, which I really like.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Blizzard, is it Blizzard 8? I mean,
Yep.
there's just so many good boxes. I have I have very I don't have many cards. I have like 5 Star Wars cards in my collection. Hayes has all of them. I gave him all the cards a long time ago. Um, but I got a lot of boxes by donating the PC, and now I just store all my like other card games that I and like um that I have just like in them. So I have